So last time we read an article called The State of Science.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some things that you remember from this article?
There were some kids that went to where the people who worked for NASA went to interview them.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Exactly. And do you remember what were they asking the NASA workers about? What type of things? Do you remember anything?
What were they doing at the workplace? And
Yeah, they were asking them what kind of projects they were doing, and then they were also asking them some advice. Do you remember any kind of advice that they gave?
sorry, I can't remember at all.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one person said, follow your passion, or, one person said that they enjoy watching young people make their ideas and their dreams reality, right?
Yep.
And then, do you remember in one part of the story, they asked one of the NASA workers, what are going to be some things that NASA is going to be working on in the next 10 years? So do you remember about that at all?
3D printers or something? Or
Not so much, but they're talking about climate change
Yeah.
and energy sources, and that they're going to need a lot of people working in careers having to do with the change in climate, like global warming, and finding people to work in fields that are looking for new energy sources, right?
Yeah.
And do you remember they were talking about a certain planet that they plan on taking a journey to? Do you remember what planet that was?
Is that just Mars?
Mars, yeah. So they were talking about a Mars trip, right?
Yeah.
And so they're also saying that they need people who would be involved in going on the Mars trip, right?
Yeah.
Very interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and go to the book. And we could go to page 62. A little story called The Polka Dot Conqueror.
Okay.
Okay, I'll read the first paragraph, okay? And then
Okay.
you read the next one. You've seen toothpaste with stripes, but have you seen toothpaste with polka dots? Personally, my favorite toothpaste is white with purple dots. But that's not what makes it great. When used properly, it can help fight tooth decay.
As you probably know, the buildup of food bacteria that hardens on your teeth contributes to tooth decay, which causes cavities. Toothpaste has anti-plaque agents that help clean your teeth and keep them healthy. Together, you and your toothpaste can help conquer tooth decay.
Good. Can you say plaque? So
Plaque?
it looks like plaque you, but it's one of those strange words, and it's just pronounced plaque.
Okay, plaque.
So do you know what plaque is?
Well, not at all. What is it?
It's like on your teeth. Like if you don't brush your teeth for one day or something, it'll have a little buildup on top of your teeth, like a little
Okay.
layer.
Yeah.
That's plaque.
Okay.
Okay. Defend your clean, healthy smile with regular brushing. But I don't want to deceive you. Remember, you have to do the work of brushing your teeth, flossing, and going to the dentist. Consult your dentist and make regular appointments. Communicate with the dentist too. Talk to him or her if you have any problems with or questions about your teeth and gums. Okay, so what do they say is the best part of this toothpaste?
Or it can help fight tooth decay. Yeah.
Good. And what do they say are important things about taking care of your teeth? What are some things you need to remember?
They need to brush your teeth and flossing and going to the dentist.
Good. Very good. And do you think that you take care of your teeth very well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be clean, so yeah.
Yeah. Good. Do you how many times a day do you brush your teeth?
Well, not at lunch, just like a morning and a night. Like
That's
when I
good.
wake up and before I go to bed, because like it's hard to bring toothbrush
Yeah.
everywhere. So yeah,
That would be a little weird to go brush your teeth at school.
yeah.
And do you floss every day?
Floss.
Do you know what floss is?
Uh, is it
It's
like a
the
gargling
little
or something?
string
Oh, yeah.
in between your teeth.
Sometimes I feel like something's stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, so you floss when you feel something weird.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let's go to page 63. Okay, it says brush up on synonyms. Draw lines to match each word with its synonyms. Do you know what a synonym is?
Something word means similar.
Yeah. So it's a word that means the same or similar to another word, right?
Yeah.
So here on this worksheet, they're going to give you one of the vocabulary words, and then they have several synonyms for each word.
Yep.
So which are the synonyms for defend?
It will be G, protect, guard, shield, and preserve.
Perfect. And which ones are the synonyms for deceive?
It's C, lie, trick, be sneaky.
And number 3, consult.
Consult, call on, get advice from.
Not quite. It would be E, talk to, speak with, keep in contact with. So it's a little similar, but it's more similar to if you are consulting. Call on, get advice from is the consult.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at communicate. Okay, and number 4 is communicate.
It will be E, talk to, and speak with.
Yes, sorry, I mixed it up. So communicate is talk to, speak with, and keep in contact with. And number 5, conquer.
Conquer, is it add to, be a factor?
Try one more time.
Win, triumph over, get the better of, overcome.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So conquer is win and triumph over. Many times you can use conquer when, like in a war, when a country conquers over another one.
Okay.
And number 6, decay.
Decay, it means rot, crumble, decompose.
Perfect. And number 7, contribute.
Will be add to and be a factory.
Perfect. Okay, now I have an article. This article is called Donations Pour In for Detroit Man Who Treks 21 Miles to Work Every Day. So do you know how much 21 miles is?
Well, not exactly, but I know that's pretty far. Yeah, long
You use
distance.
kilometers, right?
Yeah, in Korea we use
21 miles to kilometers. Let me try it. It is about 33.7 kilometers.
That's long.
Yes. So let's read this article, and we'll take turns reading paragraphs.
Okay.
So can you read the first paragraph?
Okay. The next time you hear someone complaining about their horrendous, is it correct? Commute, you may want to tell them about Detroit resident James Robertson, whose daily round-trip journey to and from work is an astounding 46 miles. Not impressed? How about if we tell you that about 21 miles of it completed on foot?
Robertson's workday begins at 8 a.m. in the morning when he leaves from his home in central Detroit and takes a bus that drops him 7 miles short of the Shane Mold and Engineering Factory in Rochester Hills, where he works as an injection molder. Since there is no other public transportation available, the 56-year-old covers the rest of the distance walking, an effort that takes him about 3 hours. Though his shift does not begin till 2 p.m., Robertson tries to get there by 12:30 so he can spend a few minutes relaxing and talking to plant manager Todd Wilson.
When work is done at 10 p.m., Robertson begins the 7-mile trek to the bus stop where he picks up the only option he has at the late hour, a bus that drops him 5 miles from his house. By the time he gets home, it is almost 4 a.m. The grueling schedule leaves little time to sleep. Robertson tries to get his rest by taking short naps while on the bus and sleeping as much as he can during the weekend.
The Detroit resident says that he used to have a car, but it died about 10 years ago. Though he makes decent money, he has been unable to save enough to pay for a vehicle and car insurance. Since none of his coworkers live nearby, his only option has been to walk.
While Robertson could have looked for a job closer to home, the dedicated man who has never missed a day of work says that it has rarely crossed his mind. That because he cherishes his time with his coworkers. Besides, if he left, he would miss the scrumptious dinner that Todd Wilson's wife sends in for him every single day. As to why he hasn't moved closer, Robertson says that he loves the central Detroit area where he has spent most of his life and could never think of moving elsewhere. But as he is getting older, the communicate is taking its toll, and he often arrives at work exhausted.
Fortunately, that may soon be a thing of the past. That's because a lot has changed since Robertson's story was first published in the Detroit Free Press on February 3rd. After reading the article, Evan Leedy, a student at Wayne State University, was so impressed that he decided to help by setting up a crowdfunding page. The young boy had hoped to raise just $5,000 to help Robertson buy a car. In less than 2 days, donations of over $200,000 have been pledged, and the funds are still pouring in.
Robertson, who recently met with Leedy to thank him, says he is overwhelmed by the outpouring of support. The 56-year-old who has no intention of quitting his $10.55 per hour job of moving from his current home has no idea what he is going to do with all the money. Hopefully, he will use some of it to buy a decent car to help ease the daily commute.
Good. So can you tell me some things you remember from this article?
This guy named Robertson, and he was going to work every day, where it's really far. It's 21 miles. And
he has to walk 21 of the miles.
And he walked to there every day, and he got really not good sleep. And one guy called Liddy, he made a page to donate money for him. And it got $200,000 US dollars, and he got a car, and
That's a lot of money. Do you know how
Yeah.
much money that is?
I can. Yeah, it's really a
Let's
lot.
let's see how much it is. I'll transfer it to won. Okay, it is about 219 million won.
219 million. That's a really lot.
That's a lot of money.
You
So
can't
he was
even buy
only
the house or something like that.
yeah. Yeah. He can buy a house right next to his job, I think.
Yeah.
So, and they were only trying to raise $5,000 and they raised $200,000. So it's a lot of money. And he did get a car. They actually gave him a car dealership in his town, gave him a car for free. So he doesn't even need to use that money for a car.
Oh,
So, so what do you think about his hard work? What do you
hard work.
think about it? About how far he travels and all of these
That's
things.
really hard work. Yeah, as what you said. It's
Yeah,
like a
and
21 miles is not a like short distance to
um,
walk or something
I
like that.
can't walk that many miles, and he is an old man,
Yeah,
a little old. He's 56,
yeah, not
and
that old, but yeah.
yeah, but at that age, you start having pain and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he might be very in shape. You know, what in shape means?
Yeah,
When you exercise a lot, you become in shape and like your heart is strong and things like that. So maybe, but also it's not so healthy to sleep. He said that he only sleeps 2 hours every night
yeah.
because he gets home at 4
4
a.m.
Yeah,
and he has to leave at 8 a.m. So he has to wake up before so he can take a shower and things
yeah.
like that. So I don't know how he can live for 10 years every day only sleeping for 2 hours. That
Yeah.
seems very hard, huh? Have you ever heard of someone that traveled that far to go to their job?
Well, some like they have a real home, but like they just get a home like and they give them money every month, like
Like
a
they
renting.
own a home, and
No,
then they
not a. Yeah, someone owned the home, but like a renting.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they'll own a home far away and then they rent a home nearby.
And or something like that, or like they're like changing. They're working one day and like they come back home and rest one day and like that kind of thing. I said
Yeah.
that.
But I think because his job doesn't make so much money. It said $10.50 an hour.
Yeah.
That's not so much. So I think it would be difficult for him to have two houses.
Yeah.
You understand? Because maybe is only renting one house now, or maybe he owns it. I'm not sure. I never saw that.
Yeah.
But he said he loves his town where he lives and he loves his job. So it's very difficult for him
To
to want
choose,
to quit.
decide. Yeah.
Yeah, choose one. And and did you enjoy this article?
Yeah. It was a nice story.
Yeah, and what did you think was the most interesting part of the article?
Um. Well, something is that guy called Siti. He got like touched or something, and he made a page, and he got $200,000.
Yeah,
And
so
there's lots of people help him and like think of him, and yeah, that was pretty nice.
yeah. So it was nice of him to do something so selfless for someone else,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever thought about doing something for someone else, or do you want to do things like this, helping other people in the future?
Yeah, it'll be a good thing to help other people because I can be that kind of people future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
but
you,
when I get rich, and I should like help other people. Hard things.
what kind of people are you interested in helping the most? Like some people like to help children or homeless people or people who live in third world countries.
Just homeless people. They're like having worst situation, and yeah. So I think I should help like homeless people. Or
Good. And do you think that homelessness is a big problem in Korea or in your city? Which city do you live in again? In
I
Seoul?
mean, yeah. So
Okay. Are there many homeless people in Seoul or not many?
well, we can't see a lot, but like in some place there's a lot, but
In some areas?
well, not in like a real big city place and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, good. And do you have any questions for me about the story?
Nothing. I don't think so.
No? Okay, good job today.
Yeah.
I will see you next time. And so I want you to go over this article so
Yeah.
that I can ask you questions about it next time. And then also go over the vocabulary a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All right. Good job today.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.